Welcome to the UKOCR Community Podcast, presented by Obstacle Racing Media. Each episode, we'll be talking to race directors, elite runners, weekend warriors, and frankly, anyone else from the UKOCR scene that will talk to us. Here is your host, Alan, aka Muddy Duck.
Anywhere in Chicken Town. The bloody scene is bloody sad. The bloody news is bloody bad.
Greetings, friends, acquaintances, and anyone else just happens to be listening. Welcome to another edition of the UKOCR podcast. We are back after a Christmas break. Only a Christmas break from Mondays, but we have had 2 weeks off. So thank you for joining me back again. And yeah, you've got me, Alan, and I'm going to be doing an interview again for you. But before I go that, I want to make sure you've all had a great Christmas. Hit me up with what did you get? I got some great presents. Got an amazing book, Dina Castor, about mindful running. So Dina Castor, if no one knows her, she was a great USA athlete, did really, really well. And it's all about her journey, but her journey into her mind, not just her running ability. What made her a good runner in her head, turning negatives into positives. I'm really into all this at the moment, into this mindfulness and looking at how your mind changes, what your thought process are. So it's really, really interesting. And I'm going to delve a lot more deeper in it in this book as well. And I'll keep you updated on it and that. But basically at the moment she's talking about changing negative thoughts into positive thoughts. So when you're out there running, you might be saying, oh, my calf's hurting, my hamstring's hurting. And then she changes that thought into my calf is working hard, my hamstring is working hard. And changing that whole thought process made her a better runner. So yeah, I think it's quite interesting. But anyway, let's get back to this podcast. So this podcast is going to be a bit of a kick-off to our training season, because we are updating our website. As you listen to this, I am actually now updating it, and it should be ready for this when this goes out. Fingers crossed. We're going to have a training session, so all the gyms, all the whether it be British Obstacle Sports affiliated or whether not British Obstacle Sports affiliated, whether they are just gyms, we're going to list them all on our website. And we've had a few requests from people recently wanting to get in the sport and asked us where the nearest gym is, where's the nearest training facility that I can go to, and we've looked them up, but this is going to take a little bit of work from us answering all that because we're going to be able to point them in the direction of our website. So check it out, and if you know a gym that's not on there, tell them. I've messaged them at everyone. Tell them they're not on there. Get them on there. They need to be on our list. So anyway, let's get back. This is Darryl White, who owns Body Hub. And we talk about him, what he does, how Body Hub works, where he founded it from, what got him into it, and everything else. I'll speak to you soon. Darryl White, PT from Body Hub. Welcome to the UKOCR podcast. How's things?
I'm good, Alan. Thanks very much. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, life's good. Can't complain.
Oh, cool. It's good to have you on. Are you? Where are you now? Because you look like you're in a chalet somewhere.
I'd like to say that I'm in, the south of France or whatever, but I'm not. No, it's a little log cabin we have here on site at Body Hub. It's called the Wee Wooden Workshop. Complete little sideline. It's my wife's thing. So yeah, just sort of I creep in here out of the wind and the rain. So yeah, that's why it looks like this.
Now we're in between Christmas and New Year. Not a lot of people working, and you just told me before we came on you've been a busy boy today. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're self-employed. It's not your contract to be sick or really have days off. We've been building more obstacles. It's a constant thing. It's like, you move into a house, you decorate the house, you're bored of the house, you redecorate the house. So it's a wee bit like that. We use the winter months, generally this period, just coming up to Christmas and just after Christmas to change things around. But obviously, we've also got a competition coming up starting in January through to March, time trials. So we're a little bit more specific this year with what we're doing to accommodate that. So yeah, it has been a busy day.
Cool. I was looking at your website earlier on of the body of the gym. Is it what do you call it? Is it a training center, a training facility? What would you call it?
It's Body Hub Obstacle Center. So we have we have a fitness area where we run boot camp sessions, group fitness sessions, which we don't generally really use the obstacles for. So it's sort of everyday fitness. We get people trained to do marathons or trained to do triathlons, but we also get people that just want to maintain a level of fitness. We've got a running track right around the center, which we use for the obstacles and also for the fitness side of things. And then we've got a 600-meter obstacle course, which is set up as a course. You can run, but you can also then go through the little rat runs and go specifically to certain obstacles to train. So obviously we offer pay and play sessions for people to come and do that. And then also this year, we're going to be bringing on board a raw gym so people can book in, just basically go to the gym. So yeah, that's quite exciting. That's a spring project. So
wow,
bit of variety.
Yeah, very much so. I was going to say, I was looking at the obstacles that you built, and they're very specific in terms of, I see these at a lot of races,
Yeah.
Do you do that? What's your inspiration for building the obstacles? You've been out today. What's your inspiration behind it?
There's not one specific. There's a few different things. One, you're trying to, in my mind, I'm trying to have a variety of obstacles that's going to put a variety of demands on the body. So be that from climbing up to crawling underneath to swinging on your arms to bending your body. So you're just trying to make sure that you've got enough variety in there to accommodate body movements and also strength as well. There is obviously that element to make sure that you've got some race day obstacles. So there's familiarity with people that train. Then when they come to a race, there's something there that makes sense to them, if that makes sense. Yeah. So there's a few things that come into play. And then there's also the element of, well, we've had that now for a few years. I'm bored of that. Let's change it. But then again, when you change it, you're changing it with those things in mind. Have we got enough? Like today, we added a crawl. So we used to have one. We got rid of it. And I thought it's about time we brought it back because we don't have that as an element. So again, that's why we brought that in. So if we do change one for the sake of just that we're bored of it, we then look at, right, what have we not got from a functional point of view that we can add in that, as I say, that accommodates that.
Right. So you don't think, let's just say Spartans brought this obstacle out and you don't think, right, we need to mimic that. You're just very much like, let me put something that's going to benefit the athletes that come and train at my gym and not necessarily.
There is a bit of that. I mean, there's a number of obstacles that I want at the center, and there can be constraints from obviously obstacles. Installing a new obstacle, the financial aspect can be little to large depending on what the requirement is. So you've got to have that in mind. I also listen to people when they come and ask them what they like. I'm more keen on what people don't like. Because I don't want to have those sorts of things. But from a race point of view, yeah, I would love to. I'd love to say Spartan is this, Nuclear is that, Tough Mudder, whatever, and get those specific things in. But it's just not always possible. Sometimes it might require a bigger rig, and that's where then the finance comes in. So we need to install then a bigger, taller rig to accommodate that obstacle, which that's a bigger project then. So that might get pushed back to next year, as an example. There's a lot of factors, I guess, is the easy way to say it. We just try and do the best that we can with what we've got, that continually challenges people, because although there may not be a specific obstacle that somebody will meet on a race day, if we can accommodate an obstacle that fires up those same movements and same muscles, well, then that's beneficial, because come time that they've got on the race day to do that obstacle, they're used to moving in that way and used to having that strength. So, as I say, there's a lot of factors. In my mind, that could be me complicating things, but that's kind of how I think.
But when you started Body Up, I mean, you've been going a few years now. When did you start?
2018.
So that's 5 years. Okay, so I got 2019 on my thing. So a year before I thought you'd started. So 5 years. If we go back 5 years, we didn't have low rigs and we didn't have, some of the obstacles that we've got out there now, some of the really technical things. When you started, what did you have? What was your core? Was it just, because I look at some of the ones I used to go to back in 2015, 2016, when I used to go to the mall, it was literally you got walls, crawls, you got monkey bars,
Yeah,
I think I went to the obstacle gym, which is in Lutterworth, which are the first ones that ever had actually flying monkey bars, as
yeah,
opposed to like normal monkey bars. But everything was very much basic. We had none of this real technical stuff. And
yeah.
now we're going right down that road. Where did you start and how did you move on?
So this is probably a twofold question. I'll not go into why and how I got started, but when I got started, I was at a different location, not too far from where Body Hub is now, about 4 or 5 miles away. And it was literally the corner of a field. So I started with offering group fitness classes, again, non-obstacle. And then also I had just a setup of a few rigs. There was no course per se. What did I have then? I had a line of gym rings. I had a line of monkey bars. I had a climb, probably a 20-foot climb over and down the cargo net. I had a couple of walls. Hurdles. I had a tire crunch. Pretty basic stuff, like
Yeah.
you say. But I think that's come with the interest in the sport. When you get interest in anything, there's a lot of different factors. The people competing want more. The race directors then feel that pressure, which is a good pressure, to then deliver more. Then you're also looking out at what other countries are doing and drawing inspiration from there. And if you're a creative person, you'll bring your own inspiration. So it's like a rolling stone. It just keeps going. So yeah, we did start off, as you pointed out, the obstacles were basic, but we probably didn't think that back then. We just probably loved doing it.
We did it, didn't we?
I'm amazing. This is awesome. I'm a kid again, and it's okay to do that. And then again, the more you do that, you think, oh, I wonder what else I could do. And that's then obviously we start to get the cycle of, as you mentioned, like low rigs and flying monkeys and all these sorts of bits and pieces adding in. And that just feeds the adrenaline, doesn't it? And the desire to keep going and try new things. So it's exciting times and it's exciting for the future. There's a massive technical element coming in from Europe, which I love. I think it's brilliant. I personally like to have a mix of everything. I like a lot of the natural stuff, throw a couple of massive trees down, you got to clamber over, it's a bit raw and rough and rugged. I love nuclear. I'm a big nuclear fan. It's only up the road from us. I love jumping in muddy ditches. Why not? But I also love technical rigs. I think for me, it's a mix of everything. So the basic's still there. Because you've got those basic movements, you've got a tire crunch, you've got to manipulate your body round. As easy as that obstacle is, it's still a requirement on your body. So there's a need for everything. I think it's trying to find that balance of not just going too technical and servicing those people that have been in the industry for a long time, because you need to always welcome new people in. So it's having that happy marriage, I think.
Yeah, I get that. Are you a Foz guy or a Toros guy? So are yours by Foz or by Toros, or do you make your own?
There's a bit of everything. I'm not eggs in one basket in any one. It's I kind of always like to try and think it'd be great to make everything myself, so then it's unique. But it's not always possible, even time constraints with regards to that. I don't favor anyone in particular. I like everything. Why not give everything a go? So yeah, I'm an open book in that regards.
That's a great answer. That's a
very
great
PC,
answer.
not don't offend anyone.
No, that's a great answer though, because if you go to some races, and all the olds are made by Foz, and you go to another one, they're all made by Toros. I know Toros are coming forward in the UK, and I know Foz, from my understanding, took a little bit of a step back in it. I don't know how much of a step back, but he's not making as many as what it used to be. So yeah, he swings and roundabouts, isn't it? So yeah, but you're right. Yeah. There's a lot of people still got handholds and rigs by Foz and the team there, and I've still got some of their handholds. But I've also got some Toros ones. It's you've got to move with the times, haven't you?
You do, but I think you should always. I don't think and again, it's only personal experience or personal thought. Is I don't think it's a good idea to levy towards one side than the other. You've always got to go for variety and mix, because who knows at the next race could favor another obstacle manufacturer, and all of a sudden you've been training on X and now you've got to get used to Y. So if you constantly change it up for yourself, and keep yourself guessing, then you're not going to be technically surprised at a race that's going to maybe make you feel an obstacle, particularly if you're an elite runner as well. So I think it's a good thing to have variety and a mixture of everything, really.
Definitely. Money no object. What obstacle would you want that you don't have?
Oh wow.
You can even buy land to build it on if you want. Money no object.
Wow. Do you know what? It would actually be one of my own. I've got an obstacle that I'm building. It's a very slow obstacle. It's been built for a long time because I constantly am changing it. It's called Leicester Falls, and it's about 90 foot long, and it's from one element to another. It's a continuous, with a lovely little easy slide on the way down, just as a kind of a little pat in the back. Well done. I would like to finish that.
Oh wow!
I'd like to finish that. I think I wish I had more time to develop more obstacles. I enjoy that process. Be it having a look at what other people are doing, obviously mix and mash and pushing things together, come up with something completely new. I quite enjoy that process. And there's a couple of obstacles that we have here that are, I guess, specific to us. I like even just having a low rig and trying to find my own elements to add to that, something that somebody doesn't have. So I think money no object. I think I would sit behind the desk, pen and paper, and start sketching, and then go and buy all the kit that I need. That's what I would do.
Very much like what currently James Parrish does at Nuclear. He designs all these fancy things and then just goes and buys the kit and builds them.
Yeah, that's it. Because again, it's easy. In some respects, it's easy just to put a rig up, go and buy all your grip elements, stick them on, job's done, and it'll be brilliant. It'll have everyone will love that obstacle, and they'll find it challenging. But to come up with something yourself and people look at it and go, "Wow, I'm gonna have to work this out before I start." I like that. I like that.
Totally. I like that. Let's talk a little bit about you and how you got into OCR. Where did you find OCR? How did you get into it?
As a kid, I was always climbing trees. We went in residentials at schools, and it was always the rock climbing and abseiling and the rope courses and stuff. I always loved that. That's not what got me into OCR. Sickness got me into OCR. In about 2 years before, so it would have been about 2016 thereabouts. I got really ill, and kind of left alone and not having done anything about it. I guess I would be dead. So it was that kind of sickness. So I had to go through a whole process. It took quite some time, a year or so, to kind of get all that sorted out. But during that process, my wife started to really home in on my diet. Never really thought about it much before. But she really started to think that you're ill and the doctors are doing what they need to do, but you need to do something more. So she really started to look at that, and we started to hone in on that, and that started to make me feel a bit better. I started to exercise more, and then it was that kind of, I quite like this feeling, this endorphin hit. And then I started to go to the gym, and then I went to the gym more, and I was going like 4 or 5 times a week, and I was absolutely loving it. I became the fittest and healthiest that I'd ever been. And I thought I'd set myself a goal of running 5K, which is nothing.
Yeah. But
at the time, I was so ill. So I had iron deficiency anemia, and I was really, really low. So to walk to the end of the street, I was, bawling with sweat. I was really, had no oxygen in my blood. So the 5K at that time was a mammoth challenge. But I'd done that. And then I thought, I've got to do something else. I've got to set myself another goal. And I'll be honest, I can't quite remember how I came across Nuclear Races. It might have been perhaps on a Facebook post or ad or something. I had no idea. And I looked at it, I thought, that looks interesting. And then I realized it was only about half an hour, 40 minutes away. And I thought, I could do that. All right, I'll do that. So I set myself, I think it was Rush 7K. I thought, I'm going to do that. That's my next challenge.
Yeah.
And as soon as I'd done that was it. That was me, as I mentioned, going back to being a kid and rock climbing, abseiling and rope, that feeling that I had as a kid, I experienced again in my first OCR race. I completed the course. So in my mind, I achieved my goal. Yeah. But I had so much fun doing it. And it's the community as well. When you're sort of down a ditch and the sun's coming in your eyes and you can't get up, and all of a sudden this hand comes down, grabs your hand, yanks you out. You get out and you raise your head to say thanks, and nobody's there. And you go, wow, oh, wow. I was like, somebody just helped me for no other reason than they could, and I thought, that's nice. What an amazing community. Somebody just willing to help somebody just because they can. So that also fed into my interest. I can't really remember about timings, but around this time, my job at the time was selling advertising, and I guess the stress of that wasn't helping my illness. And somebody said you should retrain as a PT. So I did. It was a complete topsy-turvy, freaky, weird time in my life. So I retrained, and I got offered a job in David Lloyd's. And I thought, nah, I can't be stuck indoors. I'm just not really that way orientated. And then I thought, I could do group fitness classes, and I could do some of these obstacle things. And I went and asked the guy for a bit of land. I went and asked my friend who runs a scaffold company, who I'm indebted to. So he really helped me get started. And I kind of explained what a rig was. I said, but I don't want all your scaffold stuff where the poles come out, and I need it like straight and neat and tidy. And that was quite hard for him to get his head around. But we got there in the end, and basically just landed on this corner of this field and started Body Hub. The Body Hub technically started as me just recording my journey from illness to health, and then decided I'm going to get fit before I'm 40. So that was just a Facebook, turned into a Facebook group, and other people wanted to join up and say, yeah, I'm not 40, or I'm at the other side of 40. And so, well, let's just change the name. Who cares? I'm not really bothered. But a lot of people were following me and taking part in the challenges and stuff that I was doing anyway. So I had started to build that community together. And then the name, people made suggestions for names, and we chose Body Hub, and then give suggestions for logos. They chose the logo. So it was kind of that community effort for the name and the logo and everything else. That's how that all came about too. But that's really in essence how Body Hub started, through being sick. And I realized the process that I'd been through from illness to health, and how good I felt. I felt the happiest and the healthiest I'd ever been. I thought, there's other people in the world that are sick. There's other people in the world that are sick mentally, physically, whatever way you want to describe sickness, and they're struggling, and those people need help. And I am in a position that I can help those people. So that's kind of how and why I started Body Hub, and that's still very much in my mind. I really focus on that and have a soft spot for people that come to me and say, I'm not in a good place mentally or physically or whatever else, because I can put myself back there and know the journey that I had to go through, and then I can help them get themselves back on track, help them set some goals for themselves, and so the journey continues. So yeah,
that's amazing. That it must have been difficult to go from a job where it's like you're getting paid for, by a company, to like, you said you retrained and things like that, but I'm going to guess you retrained alongside work, and then, or did you quit and just say, right, that's it, I'm going to go cold turkey, I'm quitting work and I'm going to throw all my eggs in PT? Because earlier on you said you didn't want to put all your eggs in one basket, and I'm thinking,
yeah.
Wow.
Well, I did. It was actually, as a father, you got to provide, and so it wasn't a thought to quit my job, even though the doctor suggested it. Because the stress levels and stuff wasn't helping. But we don't put our kids on social media, and I'll say that for this next point. My wife got my two sons, done a Facebook Live, and basically said, "Daddy, come home, quit your job," because my wife recognized that it was killing me, essentially, I guess. And so I did. So I literally did put all eggs in one basket. Was this the best financial decision in my life? Hell no. No, absolutely. There's not even a thought. No, it's not. Is it still? Probably not. I'm not, in that respect, we get by, and that's fine. But I'm much happier now as a person. You have opportunities in your life where you can reevaluate, or you have the opportunity to reevaluate. Be that a near miss, be that recovering from an illness, be it whatever else it is, you have that opportunity to let that have a profound effect on you or not. And I chose to let it have a profound effect on me. And so we've changed our lifestyle a lot to accommodate that. And we're in a much happier place in that regards as a family. And Body Hub very much is part of our family as well. So yeah,
That's great. I mean, a wife that supports you. I mean, every man wants a wife that supports. They always say behind every great man, there's a great woman.
For sure.
Definitely in your story. I mean, your kids must be happy as well because now they've got the biggest playground in the world by coming to help daddy at work and to play on the obstacles.
The comment was, do you know what? I think we've got the biggest garden in the world. Well, maybe the Queen, she was alive at that time. Maybe the Queen, maybe she's got a bigger one, but we've definitely got the next biggest one. How a child's mind works. Yeah, they do. They love it. And the really odd thing, completely off the cuff here, but Mike Mutter, who you might know, Mike, he laughs when he comes down because my kids run the obstacle course in Crocs, and he thinks that should be a new race to complete obstacle courses wearing Crocs, because it's quite challenging. But the kids seem to manage it, so yeah, there you go. Maybe that's the race for.
I am told with Crocs as well that they have a go faster strap. So we say the elites would have to have the go faster strap up, and then everyone else has to have them slide down.
Hey, well, look, we're putting the rules and regulations in place already.
Yeah, we're building the race here as live.
There you go. I reckon Crocs would sponsor it as well. Yeah. Oh man.
I think I can see this becoming a race. We need to speak to James Parrish and just say, James, we need a Croc race on, just purely for a Croc wave at Rush.
Yeah, I see the mud being an issue, but it'll provide a giggle for everybody watching. Yeah. Oh, dude,
I've really got visions of it now. I'm not going to get that thought out of my head for several days now. Racing in Crocs.
Oh, dude.
Having your kids down there at the gym, though, I have noticed that you've got the kids obstacle club, and that was that always part of your plans, or is that something your kids have sort of made you focus on? Or
do you know, I've done many things in my life, work wise. Actually, for 20 years, I was a kids entertainer, and I ran my own business as well. For that, so I like the honesty with kids, and they either like it or they don't like it, and I like trying to encourage kids. And I was involved in a lot of youth work as well back home. So it wasn't part of my plan, no. And I don't, I can't even remember how kids club started. I haven't a clue. But it's something that I offered out. I thought would be a good idea. And it's been really, really successful. I think it started with one, and then the next time around, it's a 6-week program. We run 2 for 6 weeks. We run a morning and afternoon session for 6 weeks, have a break, and then start another one. So we're like on our, I think it's 18th and 19th club now. A lot of the kids, something I hadn't planned for, a lot of the kids have been with me for every club, and I have a format that I thought I'll take this format and do it for every club. It'll be dead easy, different kids in. And I had to really quickly think on my feet and change this because the same kids were coming back because they enjoyed it. But obviously I couldn't get them to do the same thing. So I've really had the person develop this program, but it's a real range of kids. I mean, they're from 6 years old up to probably, I think the eldest is probably 12. So it's a range of kids and a range of abilities, which again, I personally like that challenge. That's in the same with my group fitness classes. I have a range of abilities, and it's nice to be able to service all those abilities. But this year, I'm putting together a kids OCR race team to go competing. It's not something I've done before. We don't even have a Body Hub adults race team, which I think I'm going to look at too. But because the kids have been with me for quite some time and they're showing a lot of talent and a real thirst for it, I've got some really good kids I think are going to be very competitive. I thought, why not? So that's exciting for Body Hub this year to have a kids OCR race team. And it's nice for those kids to have gone through that program to now progress into something where they can do something with the skills and the strength and abilities that they have learned. I mean, training on, for the past year and a bit. So, yeah, that's quite good. I enjoy that.
Fantastic. Have you got some fast kids there then? Have you got some pretty little whippersnappers there? And
I've probably got 4 that I can think of the top of my head. That it's a difficult one because I don't feel I can say, right, you're in, you're not in, you're not in, you're in. So I've got to set a challenge that they've got to, if they complete the challenge or set of challenges, then they make the team. They get into the team. So the 4 that I have in my mind, if they don't make the cut, then they're not in the team. So it's quite, but I think it's the first way to do it. But yeah, I've got some kids that are really, and they're hungry for it. They're hungry for the challenge, which is quite nice. So it'll be interesting. I don't know how that's going to go. It's always nice to win a race. Of course it is. But I think, and again, working with kids, the important thing is to obviously always push yourself. Get a race under your belt, see what it's like, then come back next time, and then push yourself to do better. That's how I look at it, and that's the way I'll teach the kids. I have been teaching the kids. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that progresses this year, or next year.
Awesome. So where will we see them? We'll see them at Nuclear Rookies.
Yeah, I mean they already go. They've already competed. Well, I'll say compete. They're already running rookies. But we just haven't had a formalized team, so we're going to formalize that and get the kids registered. And I haven't set out the races yet. I need to sit down with all the parents. I need to put the team together, obviously, first, have a chat with the parents, and we need to go through the races that we think are available and achievable. My mind, I'd like to get 10 kids in the team, knowing that we're probably not going to get 10 kids at every race, but if we can get 3, 4, 5, that would be great. We'll just see how it goes. It's new to me as well, bringing a team through, a competitive team through. So it'll be interesting.
And bright orange tops. Are we going to see bright orange tops come back? Because we haven't seen them since, was it the obstacle shop vanished, since they packed up?
Yeah, well, we've got new. We do have new merch. It's generally black, and the logo's now orange. There'll be orange. There's always orange, black and orange everywhere and everything, black and orange.
Anyone's listening now, you can't have orange. If you're doing a new team, you can't have orange because Darryl and Body have stolen it.
Done. It's been mine for ages. That's it. So now there's plenty of other colors, but you can share it. I'm not greedy.
So when after you set up the one you had in the little corner, and then you moved to this new one, I mean, this is much bigger, much more obstacles.
It was. You should come down sometime. You should come down. I'll show you the photographs. It's if you've not gone back and seen the posts, I've done a few videos that sort of show what it was like when I took the new place, over. It's a 2-acre site. It didn't have a road in. It took about a month just to clear it, just to flatten it and burn everything on it, and to put a road in and bring the electrics down, bring in the water down, put a car park in, and then look at the course. I knew as soon as I came here, there was a big hill, and I stood on top of it. And I'm a very visual person. My background initially is graphic design. I'm very arty, crafty orientated, so I find it easy to visualize things. So I stood on top of that hill, and I knew roughly what I wanted. Literally drew it on a napkin at cost of coffee. Told my mate that we're moving, as in the framework, so he had to help me move it, and new rigs and everything else. So it was a big undertaking, moving from where we were, a very small space. That was maybe 50 foot by 50 foot square, maybe. Wow. to a 2 acre site, and I really wanted to utilize every inch of this place, and I think I have. We've it was important to have a running track. It was important to have an obstacle course that you could run as a course, and to have a fitness area as well. So they were my parameters. We also have another little area that's not related to the obstacles. It's a little forest area where we do forestry skills. So I'm a Bear Grylls instructor too, which I don't really do much with it because I'm so busy now. But that was another aspect to teach kids survival skills and things like that. So we got little parachute with fire pit and some raised tree houses and stuff down there too. It's quite nice. We utilize that too. So there's a lot happening here.
You've got me hooked. I'm just coming down just to go to the forest now. That's my type of thing, that. Sit around the fire.
Yeah, I'll tell you come down, I'll get the marshmallows.
That is really my type of thing. You know, I love being in the outdoors and, you know, I'm quite lucky that I live literally a stone's throw from the Pennines and the Peak District.
Oh, wow.
I jump in my car and within 10 minutes I'm there. So, you know, I run on them quite a lot, and quite often we can catch trains from where I live. So me and a few friends, we usually catch trains about 50 miles away with a rucksack and a tent in the back, and we'll just pitch the tent wherever, and then, you know, over 2 days make us way back. So yeah, I'm right into all that.
Oh, that's amazing stuff. That sounds great.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's something that you get comments from people about the place. Excuse me, and you know, over the years, people like, it's happened a lot. People have said, "Wow, you drive in, it feels quite magical here. It's quite wow. There's just something about it. Like, you can't build that. That's I don't know where that's come from. I don't know what that is, but in the forest is quite nice when you've got the fire going and you're doing marshmallows, or you're doing calzone on a fire. That's possible. That's a deal. Well, that's quite nice. But it's something real peaceful about it, you know. And even walking around the running track here in spring, when everything's starting to come alive again, the plants, you got the dragonflies and all the insects and the birds, there is a real peace about this place. You know, it's talked about biophilia, which is humans' natural connection with nature. And I feel, for me anyway, this place has that in abundance. It's just alive with creatures, and that's another aspect that it caused me a lot of pain and maintenance. But we literally obliterated everything here. There was, you know, any insects, any wildlife, it was gone in order to make this place. So the bunds, the lines in between the lanes, I said I'd always let grow naturally, and whatever lives there lives there. And we'd kind of just work with it, treat it like a hedge, just keep cutting it back. But we don't use any pesticides. It's not, so it's a bit hard kind of working with Mother Nature. But the rewards are, as I say, like in spring and summer, the place is just alive with stuff. And that helps to bring that peace. And when people come to train here, be it in obstacles or be it as a group fitness, mentally, there's something really nice and calming about that. I get a lot of people that work in the city, a lot of people that run their own businesses come, and they come to exercise, but to switch off. Yeah. To not have any connection with work, with home, with their phone, with whatever else. So that peace that this place provides is a massive part of that for them as well. So there you go. Off on a tangent.
I think I'm going to come down on the 17th of March, because you're not far from where we're holding the awards. So I'll be there in the evening, and popping through on the Sunday will be absolutely amazing to, I mean, hopefully I'm going to see it at the awards, but if not, definitely catch you on the 17th, and we'll look around and we'll on that.
Yeah, so. Definitely. 17th of March, yeah?
Yeah.
That's St. Paddy's Day.
St. Paddy's Day, yes. St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, definitely.
The
that
best
would be
day
awesome.
of the year. Yeah.
Indeed. That would be awesome. Yeah, you'd be very welcome. We'll arrange that.
Without a doubt. Thank you. We will there. What you've done your journey and everything else, and you've done quite a lot of races. I mean, you haven't just done nuclear races. I know that for a fact. And that, out of all the races you've done, I'm going to say, pick me your favourite. But it could be for any reason. Maybe it was a challenge, or maybe it was.
There's a favourite that I have that I want to do that doesn't exist yet.
Go on.
Nuclear Meltdown, 24-hour race.
Oh yes.
The reason being, I think, as you get older, one of the benefits of getting older, apart from the not benefits of things not working anymore, one of the benefits is, I think, our ability to endure is greater than it was when we were younger.
Yeah.
Because we've endured a lot more of life. Does that make sense? So mentally, I think I can endure a lot more than I could whenever I was 20.
Yeah.
And a race like that is going to be more mental strength than it is physical, because you're going to have to mentally push yourself through and tell yourself that you can keep going. And I'm intrigued personally to know how far I would get.
You're quite right, because that's at minute that's my type of event, because I'm ultra running. I'm doing multi-day ultra runs. I've done ETM. You know, Europe's Toughest Mudder, as everyone knows, 12 hours. I ran all the way through. I've done it twice now. I'm back there this year. You know, I want to go, and I saw this. You know, I saw this pre-COVID when they was going to launch it, and back then I probably wasn't prepared, but now I spoke to James, and I said, James, bring it back. You need to bring Meltdown. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
You put the post. Was it you put the post on?
It was, yeah.
That's what got it in my head again. You see, and that's why it's registered again. I'm just curious to know, because I've not done an ultra, and I'm just intrigued to know how far I can push myself.
It's tough. I mean, at the minute, there's only one real 24-hour obstacle course race in the world, which is World's Toughest Mudder. It's over in America. Yeah, there's a little one in the UK, Farmyard Jam, which everyone knows about, but it's not a major obstacle course race. It's more of a run with some obstacles thrown in at the end. But Nuclear, putting a simple 5K course on, you know, or maybe a little bit longer, maybe, I don't know how much it would be. But
I think I may be wrong in saying this, but my understanding was that, it was going to be a short course. Yeah. I think to be able to manage and service everybody in case there was injuries and stuff like that and people falling down, the smaller space allows you to control that a lot more, which makes sense from a safety aspect. But from my understanding, I think that it was going to change throughout the day, as in you would sort of go down this lane, complete those obstacles, and then at such and such a time, it would move to this lane. So the course changed throughout the day. I may be wrong, but I don't know why. I remember having a conversation with somebody, and that was kind of explained to me. If it's not, that would be a great idea. And if it is, it's still a good idea.
Well, that's how World's Toughest Mudder works as well. So World's Toughest Mudder works like that. They open obstacles at certain times, such as Europe's Toughest Mudder. And that's the way to do it. You reduce a little bit on the volunteer aspect and that. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I think that helps mentally as well, because, you know, you're going to get into the night hours, the wee hours of the morning, and obviously towards the end, your mind's just going to be going mental. So I had to have something just to, you know, switch you again. I think that's needed. So yeah, you're right. You know, Toughest Mudder to do that, and but yeah, I think that's what I would love to do. I'd love to. I hope James brings it back. James, if you listen to this podcast, you seriously need to really think about this. You need to do it.
I think he will get hundreds of people turn up. I think Europe would turn up. The whole of Europe would turn up, because, like I say, you look at in America, you know, 4,000, 5,000 people turn up to World's Toughest Mudder in America.
Yeah.
Okay, it's been going a few years, but everyone knows that Nuclear races obstacles are the best in the world.
He does it really well. James has got it spot on. You know, with everything, with the warm, luxurious showers at the end. You know, as basic as that is, something that's just it feels like the best shower you've ever had. Yeah. You know, down to the free photographs that everybody blasts all over the social media to promote Nuclear as well. You know, it's the little things. You know, the warm cup of tea, at blackout and stuff. Everything about it, he's done really, really, really well. And I would imagine that it would get a great response. I mean, even look at Nuclear Fit as well. You know, we've become a Nuclear Fit affiliate centres, a body health.
Are you stealing my notes here, Darryl? This is my next note, is Nuclear Fit.
But
you are stealing my notes.
I was sorry, I didn't mean to. I mean, obviously I had to drop that in. But from Nuclear's point of view, that's a phenomenal event. Have you done it yet? Have you done a Nuclear Fit?
I haven't. I've got to go down and do it. I've been speaking to James and Sam down there and saying I've got to come down at some point to do it. I've done high rocks. I'm not a fitness type of person like this, though. I'm not. It's not my bag of.
But it's got a rough Nuclear twist to it. High rocks, it doesn't really appeal to me. Part of it appeals to me because it's that endurance thing. How far can I push myself? Like we mentioned with Meltdown. So that appeals to me, but it's a bit too clean. That might sound strange. I am very much an outdoor person and rough and rugged, that kind of way. I don't know, it brings a calmness. So what James has done with Nuclear Fit, obviously it is a Hydrox the familiarity with that, but there's a definite grit, a nuclear grit about it. You know what I mean? The 1K run is on a slopey hill, which is all rutted, and it's just not. It's just new. Is there just a roughness to it, and it's brilliant. So I would do that every day and happily miss Hydrox. And again, that's personal. That's nothing against Hydrox at all. It's just down to what you personally like and don't like. So I think what he's done for Nuclear Fit's awesome.
I fully agree. It's something I've got to go down, and I've got to look at and myself. I know Ian, my partner on the Swift Half, he's threatening to go down every time they put one on, but it always clashes with something else that he's up to and things like that.
So, it is always a challenge to fit all these things in. It's hard.
Before I let you go, before I give you a little shout out, I looked at your own Instagram, and you seem to be a bit of a fan of inspirational quotes. Am I right?
Is this Instagram Darryl White Succeed, or is this Body Hub?
This is your Instagram.
I don't really use that much more, but I do like inspirational quotes. I used to do this thing every morning at 8:00, a smoothie and motivational quote, and I'd done it for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Every day I'd done it. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but it helped me whenever I was going through my illness to kind of pick me up every day, to give me something just to change. Because I'm digressing back again, but whenever I was ill, I was in a really bad place. I have very low self-esteem. There's a lot of problems that anemia deficiency brings on, memory and everything else. So your self-worth really goes down. So that's something I had to really work on. So positive quotes helped me to do that, allowed me to focus for those brief moments, pick myself out, and then and carry on. So I do like motivational quotes. Yeah.
Well, my question is, what's your favorite?
Oh, I hate getting asked what's your favorite anything. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite song? Because it changes every day. It depends on the mood that you're in, doesn't it?
It does.
You find yourself in. Let me see.
What's your current favorite then? Because there's usually one that's always in your head at this moment in time.
I believe it's there's two. There's a funny one. Never underestimate the power of human stupidity.
I like that one. That's good.
And then the next one would be, I think, is Martin Luther King Jr., I think, perhaps. And it was something along the lines of run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But whatever you do, just keep going. So it's something along those lines, and I like that. I treat that, even we were talking earlier on about building obstacles, and sometimes you just don't have the things you need to build an obstacle. And or the finance, something comes up, you think, oh, that's awesome, but that's really expensive. I'll do that later. And I kind of think, no, I want that. And I'll find another way around to get it. So it's kind of that, keep pushing, just find another way. If it doesn't work this way, then just go another way. Just keep finding it. And I think, in some respects, that could sum up OCR as well. If you're really pushing yourself, if you're an elite runner and you're running the race to get a place, or if you're running it just for fun and you just want to complete it, but it's really hard, you just got to keep going. If you can't run it, then walk until you get breath back and run again. And if you've got to crawl it, get across the finish line. Just find a way to do it. I think that kind of sums up OCR too, as well as me personally when I'm trying to achieve something. So there you go. I think it was Martin Luther King Jr. Somebody, I'm sure, will listen to this and post somewhere the full quote. Can't remember it now.
I will guarantee Martin Gemmell will listen to it, and he will message me personally, because he has more quotes than anyone I know about. Darryl, thank you for coming and chatting to me. It's been a pleasure. Our hour has flown so fast, and it's great when it does. It means it's much easier. I want to say a big thank you to him for giving my notes that he got for me today, because he rushed them through for me and researched a little bit and gave me some good talking points, which I didn't really need to use, but thank you, Ian. Before I go though, Darryl, as I give all my guests, plug away. If you want to plug Body, I know we've talked about quite a lot, but tell people your website and where they can find you.
Yeah, so website is Body Hub Online, but we're kind of more active on our social media. So My Body Hub on Facebook and Instagram. Do follow us. Keep an eye, get in touch, come and see us. I've definitely got to plug our Beast event. It's a time trial event. We've been involved with previous time trials when it was national, with the British Obstacle Association. This one's our very own. So it starts on January 20th and it runs through until March the 23rd, with the final on March the 30th. And we've got Enduro supporting the event. We've got Kit Bricks and 2 other companies. Hopefully we're going to be announcing later this week, if not next week, and they're going to be putting up some prizes as well. So it's about a mile long course. It might actually be a little bit longer because I was looking at something today, and it's going to be packed. It's going to be really, really tough, hence the name Beast. I would love everyone to come and give it a go. It doesn't always matter that you may not place in the final. That's okay. Just challenge yourself. Do something that's going to push you out of your comfort zone. It's a winter OCR. We're not a muddy centre. We keep the mud for the races. So you'll have fun. You'll sweat out of your eyeballs. It'll be amazing. But yeah, please do come and check out the Beast event at Body Hub.
Thank you, Darryl. Much appreciated. And once again, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me on, Alan. I appreciate that.
Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to that. Thank you very much indeed, Darryl. They're absolutely amazing. If you want to go down and check it out, go down and check him out. I'm sure we'd appreciate your business and that. In the meantime, thank you for listening. Don't forget to hit that like and that subscribe button. And head over to our YouTube channel as well, UKOCR on YouTube. And we are now putting some podcasts on there. This one's not going to be on there, I'm afraid. But some of our podcasts are going to be on there, especially the Swift Halves. And some of the interviews we've got coming up. Lots of things planned. Don't forget, have you got your ticket for the awards? Make sure you get your ticket for the awards. They are going to be a sellout. Speak soon. Take care. Bye.
I don't know what you want. Let's have